Yeah, hi, myself Vikas Arora. I'm having a 5 years of experience. I'm working with BCM and I'm a spoken English trainer over here and I'll be teaching you articles today. Well, let me tell you, articles is also a very important and integral part of English. Articles comprises of only three words, which is a, and, or the. A and means one. The meaning of a and an is one. And the we use for unique things, which we'll discover, in further slides. So first of all, we'll see, as I told you, it comprises of a and the three. Now, let me tell you, first of all, articles are words used to specify or indicate the noun that follows them. They are type of determiner in English grammar. So a and the are articles. A and an means one. Now where we use, you must be having this question in your mind that where we use a and where we use an. Basically a we use with all the consonants and we use with vowels only. Like our vowels are a, e, I, o, u. So all the words starting from a, e, I, o, u, we always use and before that. So whenever there is a vowel starting from a, e, I, o, u, there's always like and before that word. And if any word is a consonant, for example, it's not in vowel, all the alphabets apart from vowel, they all are consonants. So any word starting from a consonant, we always use a before that. However, there is a small contradiction in that also. Like suppose for an example, like if we say, as I told you that a, e, I, O, U, these all are vowels. Any word starting from these words, we would be using and before that. But at times what happens, like a word even starting from a vowel, but we use, though it's supposed to be and before it, but we are using always a university. Now you must be surprising by this. So the only, the answer is that we need to see the sounds as well. Though even though despite it's a vowel, but we are not using an over here, we're using a because of the sound, because the sound we are getting over here, that is why, sound is here, that is why. So at times, even despite it's a vowel, but we don't use an over here, we use a. So this is a condition in this. Now we can see the slide, I saw a cat, right? So a is mentioning, one, right? She is an actress. Like I have told you that if there is any word starting from vowel, so you would be using an before that. She is an actress. Apart from that, the sun is rises in the east. Sun is very powerful and unique. So before that, we are using the over here. Now, if we see further, articles are the words used to specify or indicate the noun that follows them. Now, if we see in this slide, there are two types of articles: indefinite articles and definite articles. Indefinite articles is a and an, and definite articles is the. She bought an apple from the market. So apple is an, we can say it's a vowel, so we are using an before that. It indicates that it's a vowel, it's following a vowel. And she ate the apple that was on table. So in this, this is the, we have used the table because it is specifying where the apples are lying, right? So as I told you, this is we use. And further, if we see the slides, indefinite articles, a and an, as I already told you, it's the indefinite articles. These articles are basically used to modify non-specific and non-particular nouns. These are used for singular and countable nouns. Like if I say this is a chair, so chair is one. As in the beginning of this video, I've told you that a and an used for one, they both stands for one. So as we can see in the slide as well, this is a chair. So it's always a countable noun. A one chair we can count. So that is why we have used a over here as an article. Apart from that, this is an elephant. And again, e is an vowel. So an is coming before the elephant. So these are the some examples. Now, if we see further, so we say before beginning with a consonant sound A, as I already mentioned in the beginning of the video, I've told you that A is used, whenever there is a consonant. A is a consonant. A always used before a consonant. If any word starting from any alphabet, starting from consonants which are except vowels, they are always considered as consonants. So before that, we always use A, and before a singular noun in the beginning, we also use a boy, a bird, a book, a school, because these all are indefinite and these all are consonants. So we use A before it. Now, if we see further, like even before vowel letters which do not have vowels, and as I already mentioned in the beginning also, I gave you example also that generally what happens whenever we are using an vowel, like a e i u are the vowels, and any word starting from a e i o u, there always be and we using before that. But again, in some cases, there are some cases in which even a word is starting from vowels, but still we are not using and before that, we are using a. And university is one of the case. I gave you the example of university, though it's starting from u, which is a vowel, but still we are not using and over here, we are using a university. The reason being is that I've already mentioned in the beginning in the video that we need to see sounds as well. At times, though it's starting from a vowel, but the sound is which is coming, that is why we are not using an over here, we are using a. In the further, if we see the slides, is again mentioned a European. Again, that the word is starting, it's starting from a vowel. E is a vowel, we all know. But why we are not using an and we are using a over here? Because of the sound. The sound we are getting over here, that is why sound, ear sound. That is why this is very important to understand, because most of the students make mistake over here. They just they just say okay, it's starting from vowel and they use and, which is completely wrong. Please make sure these are the small mistakes which most of the student does. Whenever you are making a modals, make sure the sound as well. Generally, whenever the word is starting from a e i o u, all the vowels, it always be starting with the and. But in some cases, some conditions are there. If the sound, we need to see the sound as well. In this word, we can clearly see the sound is ya, right? So in that case, we will not be using an over here, despite it's a vowel. Despite it's a vowel, but we are not using and, we are using a. In second slide, again, it's mentioned a unit, right? Again, u is a vowel. It should be an over here, but again, the as I told you, a would be using over here instead of an, because it's a vowel. Now another thing is that further, if we see before a word beginning with a vowel, we use an. We already discussed any word using from a e i u, the vowel, we always be using and before that, like an apple, an idiot, you can say all these words starting from a vowel. An R, an honest man. So these all are vowel sounds. So that is why we are using vowel, and before that. Where we use though, we have already discussed a and. Now the is used for before unique objects. Like we can say the sun. There's only one sun, right? And it's very powerful, it's unique, so we use the before this. Like we can say we can see in the slide, the sky, the sun, right? And even before the names of mountains, rivers, oceans, and deserts, etc., we use the Ganga, the Sahara. So all these we can say the is we use for most powerful and unique things. Like before the name of religious books, they are also very influential and powerful. So the Ramayana, the Bible, the holy books we have over there also we use the, right? And before the superlative degree, we can also say the best, the tallest, in that case also we use the, to unique and to, for powerful things. Like again, before musical instruments, we also use the harmonium, the violin. Before an adjectives to denote a whole class. Okay, like we use the also to specify things, right? If a person is rich, so we can say the rich, to specify the whole class or to specify a particular thing or a person. For that also we use the. Like for, I just give you an example over here. The thing is that the is also used to specify the things. Suppose, if, like a person is having 3 cars in his garage, right? And he sends someone to please, bring 1 car. So the person, like it's obvious, would be asking which car you're asking. Then he would be saying the car which is of red color, right? So this is to specify, the we use to specify the thing also, like to specify. So this was all, this is very important. I would suggest everyone, just go through it properly and use it. It's very important and very useful. Thank you so much. Thank you.